So hi everyone, today in this video we're gonna develop another solutions for another type of problems that we face in our day-to-day life. And obviously so with always with the focus in trying to explain or you just by using some of the meta models existent that are so helpful to explain the world that we live, that we can grasp a lot of patterns, relations of cause effect, some loops that tend so to be something that we can predict because they tend to repeat and so they tend to last for a lot of centuries. And then so obviously this comes with studying psychology, we can study economics, finance, another type of field of study, history, sociology. So you can study all things and all so you grasp the concepts that are like the most important ones on that area and then to apply to understand the world, the problems that you face, and as well to build solutions for that same problems. And then so today we're going to talk about the global crime crisis. We're going to look at it in the perspective of the mental models that are helpful to understand it, but as well to create solutions based on that same mental models. So what do you have? 9 trillion annual cost with crimes. It's around 20 is around 10% of the global GDP lost to crime, policing, in incarceration because money is spent with this type of elements is money that could be spending in allocating so accumulating the resources getting allocated for other areas that contributes more for in long term. In ideal scenario, we would like so to not spend money in things that doesn't contribute for our life. So you wish so to spend in science. That's probably so the best type of things that helps so you to develop technology, helps you to develop strategies so to deal with problems, and not spending so with human resources in weapons that also it's kind of a waste. And then obviously we need to start looking for that root causes: poverty traps, inequality, drug trade, corruption, and broken social contract. What are like failed solutions? Mass incarceration increased by 500% since 1980, but recidivism is up 60% in 5 or plus nations. So we don't know if it's really that same type of solution, the increase of incarceration. But then with that, we need to start to look for models and so solutions for that problem. See, it's not that much deep, it's not that much involved. You can also develop that much in a point that you so are able to solve a problem in 10 minutes. But then we can start looking for some sensors and logic. So first, the tragedy of commons create as a social loop. What's the idea? Communities become commons where neglect breeds crime. And so fixes for that. We have the guardianship DA host, the reuse favela that use blockchain to fund local safety, as with that has made so the murders decrease 70% via community patrols and neighborhood equity bonds, investors that earn returns for cutting poverty. As for example, Chicago's gang recruitment decreased 40%. So it's basically like you align incentives to people getting more incentivized to do actions that you think that contributes to cutting the existence of crime. So having like playing with the opportunity cost of not committing the acts. So people that are in that poverty, the investors by investing in that regions, you can so create more opportunities than just so go for this gang recruitment, and then so obviously it's helpful. You're decreasing the helmet that will get so socialized in that specific type of groups that will so become will make him so radicalized, which is obviously something that you don't like. Second, cover effect punishment tends to backfire. So idea: harsh penalties often increase recidivism, and that so fixes for that by knowing that this happens. We have restorative justice polls. New Zealand's Maori leads cycles. Reoffending decreased 40% versus prisons. And drug compassion labs. Portugal's decriminalization more therapy has made overdoses decrease 80% and HIV decrease as well 90% in that groups, obviously. So, 3. Anti-fragility. Truth disorder. What's the idea? Use crime hotspots to build resilience. So fix by knowing this idea. We have ex-gang urbanism. Los Angeles hires former members to redesign slums. It made gang violence decrease 50% and trauma to touch hubs. South Africa trains victims in cybersecurity, yes, with that employed by banks to fight fraud. So seems to be something positive. Four, a bit of mimetic theory, crime as a contagion. What's the idea? Criminal behavior spreads through imitation. So fixed by knowing that this happens. We have role model flooding. The Nigeria's thief to chief ads features ex-cartel CEOs, has made robberies decrease 30%. And gamified empathy. VR apps let cops experience poverty. And with that, police brutality reduced 65% in Colombia. Five, we have the Libby effect. Child wisdom tends to be the law of the modern prisons. And so idea, time-tested conflict resolution outlasts punitive systems and so fixes by knowing it. We have revived trust technologies. The Somalia's cheers courts under acacia trees made clan wars decrease a lot. And Navajo peacemaking, the US prisons adopts tribal models has made has decreased a bit of violence in 5 years since the adoption. Six, a bit of systems thinking. Crime is a symptom. Idea isolated fixes fail. Root causes are interconnected. So fixes. Poverty moonshots. Brazil's basic income pilot can make and has made so to show that homicides have decreased 40% in 3 cities with this Brazil basic income pilot. And architecture as vaccine. So Bogota's pedestrian lights, more libraries, has made street crime decrease 60%. So basically, playing as well again with incentives. We're kind to manhandle a behavior. What do you want? You want to exclude the behavior that is committing crimes. So you're making it harder. You can create revenues for not doing the action. So and then this is implied in a lot of the solutions that you're seeing that are so actions that are described by me in this video. 7. Prevention paradox. Stop crimes before it starts. What's the idea? Small intervention prevent large-scale harm. It's fixed by knowing this. We have epigenetic therapy, the one that tests kids for war trauma makers, has made early intervention decrease violence. And artificial intelligence social workers. So what is that? In these chatbots that detect domestic abuse cues has prevented 12K femicides. 8. It's basically the resume. It's always the majority of the problems is like behaviors that you want so not to happen, and then so you have to basically manhandle the opportunity cost. So it's always important to understand that you have to play with opportunity cost of the decision makers that are important and making them so behave in whole systems that are integrated in our society, so to create a flow of action that so makes people not commit the crime. But also the other thing that's important is that people that spend energy in criminal, it's as well a meaning is equal to misdirected potential. So it's something that has to happen. And then by knowing that, obviously, another reason for why we want to cut criminals, not just about because it makes people get so the bad outcomes of suffering crime as well, because the people that are spending energy committing these crimes is a misdirected potential that are so could be used in other things. But then you have to play in a way that so these people feel that opportunity cost of not committing so the crimes is positive enough and higher enough so that that makes it not commit the actions that are bad. So fixes. Crime to climate pipelines. Mexican cartels recruited to build solar farms made recruitment decrease 60%. And NFT amnesty programs. Gangs trade weapons for crypto hard careers. El Salvador murders decrease 50%. Obviously, so with this initiative being implied in their plan of action. So seems to be something interesting playing with opportunity cost, making it so playing this type of way is a way to manhandle the opportunity cost of going for groups that tend so to occupy that type of crime. So obviously you cannot take all action, so you have to select better and create a more integrated solution that's combine a lot of these sense of logics that alone obviously they're not just enough. So with that, I expect this was enough to like the channel. I expect it was enough to subscribe, and I hope to see so in other videos. So thank you and see you in the next one.